I just want to come on here and say how good God is. I am on day 2 of my fast, and He is already moving. He is already moving. He is already moving. And I have a testimony. Yesterday, I only had $2.99 in my account. $2.99 in my account. I'm literally just now leaving the gym. I had a session this morning with a trainer, and she was really, really great. And of course, you know, after you meet up with the trainer, they tell you, they break down your plans and things like that and try to get you to join their training section. And of course, that costs money, right? So long story short, I'm like, I really want to do this, but I don't have the funds to get it done. I'm sorry. And God is so good. So I had to put down $90. And I'm like, I want to do it, but I don't have the funds. So I'm checking my account. I'm checking my accounts. And I see one of my accounts, which is in my son's name, is his savings account. And I have ran his savings account through, and he only had $290 in that savings account, right? So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just take $100 out of there. I know I'm gonna rebuild his savings account, so I'm gonna just take $100 out of there, just to get this started. Because even with me making content and stuff, my content, my niche is fitness. My niche is wellness. You know, it's God first, and then wellness immediately after, and then a little sprinkle of life here and there. So I'm like, this is really important to me, especially learning my forms. And I don't want to get off topic, but I looked at his account, and he had $290 in his account. I didn't have no money in any of the other accounts. So I tried to Zelle that $290 to my primary account, because his account don't have a card linked to it. It's just a savings account. I don't have an account, a checking account linked to it. So due to that, I wasn't able to transfer anything. I had to physically go to the bank. So I told the guy, I'm like, hey, I want to pay, I want to sign up, but I have to go to the bank to get some cash out. So he said, okay, cool, that's fine. So I drove about 3 minutes to the bank, and I go through the ATM withdrawal line, the ATM side or whatever, right? And I gave them my ID, and I told her the situation. I'm like, hey, I don't have a checking account with you. My son don't have a checking account with you, but he does have a savings account. I think it's like a first bank savings account for kids under a certain age. He does have a savings account. He only have $290 in there. I want to go ahead and see if I can withdraw $100. So she went and she checked, and she seen it, and she was like, oh, we wouldn't be able to withdraw anything from this account based on how it's set up. Right? I'm like, what do you mean? And I know me, I specifically like set it up that way so I won't be able to take money out of it a few years ago when I set it up. So she said, in order to take money out of this account, you need a checking account that is linked to his first savings account, if that makes sense, because of how his account's set up. There has to be a checking account that is linked. You have to come in and open up a checking account. And I'm like, okay, you know, sure. Is there a minimum for the checking account? She was like, well, I see that you had a checking account with us before, but the account got closed. Something about an overdrawn or something like that. Long story short, I owed them $55. I have to pay the $55 first before I can open up a checking account, before I can take out the $100 that I want to take out. And I'm just like, I don't have it, you know. To open up a checking account, $55, but I have to pay them back from what I owe them. And then now already taking out $100 out of his account, so that means I'll be taking out $155 out of that $290 that he has, and I don't know how I was feeling with that. So something just told me to check my phone and check my other accounts. It's crazy because for somebody that don't have money like that, I have so many accounts with so many different banks. So I checked my other accounts. I checked my Navy Federal, nothing's in there. I checked my my Chase, nothing's in there. I checked, you know, all of my other accounts, and one of my account that I checked yesterday that only had $2.99. I checked it, and that account now has $980 in there. If that ain't God. $980. I haven't worked since January 2nd. We're now closer towards the end of February. I don't know. I'm so grateful, you know, and it's just, and it's money that is very unexpected. I wasn't expecting this to, like, I didn't have any intention that this was going to be deposited. But the fact that it came today on my second day of fasting, just when I'm like, God, I want to do the content thing. God, I want to be a gym content girly. You know, I want to take my health and my wellness seriously. So I rushed over and I paid that $90, and I have my first gym session tomorrow with my trainer. And I just want to come on here and say, God is so good. God is so good. He hears you. He listens. He moves. It's not in vain. Every little sacrifices that you make, it is not in vain. It's not in vain. I'm so happy, y'all. And I know most people have a lot more in their account, but the fact that I just got this, like, it feels like $1 million to me right now, going from $2.99, where I'm like, okay, how am I going to figure out my funds for the rest of this month, to now having $900 in my account. I just want to say, God, thank you. Thank you so much, Jesus. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, God. Thank you for seeing me. Thank you for hearing me. Thank you for seeing my situation and coming through for me endless times.